to Bitburg, Germany, venue of the annual Max European Masters, home of the European Championships. Bitburg is situated in middle west of Germany and can easily be reached by car or plane. As expected, the weather is typical German, meaning only the last 2 days the sun comes out. Bitburg is a small town, but it's known worldwide for its strong and delicious beer. The German Bitburger. This year, the Max European Masters is the first leg of the millennium. That's why all the players gather to get their ID cards.
I'm the administrator and I update the web, I communicate with all the players, and I do everything that no one else wants to do. That's basically my job.
Everybody knows the ritual and Carlin's ever so important sentence, "Look into the camera." An event of this dimension requires a good staff, and the Max organization during those 4 days is very concentrated and tense.
I don't want to promote paintball to the world that much anymore. It's a little secret, and I'd like to keep it that way. Although, of course, growth of the sport will definitely benefit all of the teams in the sport. So it's two sides to the story. Yeah.
The last event took place over 6 months ago. All the dealers come to the event to show their newest invention, because paintball still is a sport which is subject to change. Spectators and players talk about the latest gear, major team changes, and the newest and hottest markers. All the big brands and names are there to give you special advice. The equipment is very important to the players, and it often determines between winning and losing. Most of the marker manufacturers provide the unique service of offering all interested players an introductory lesson. All the little aspects of an air system or a marker are explained. The Fat Lady's Charms, an all-female team, is listening concentrated when Adam gives important advice about the new shocker. The Max European Masters offers 6 tournament fields which are easy to reach from the staging area. Now it's time to come to one of the most important things in paintball: the field reading. On the first day of the tournament, usually a Thursday, all the teams are coming to walk the field to watch for good shooting angles and blind spots. These are the areas where your opponent has no chance to see when you're moving up. At this point, the players have to decide which tactic they want to use. Good preparation is essential for a top-level working team. Some teams spend the whole day on the field preparing their game plans, looking for good running lanes, or, most importantly, talk about the breakout. Some major changes in the rules of the game took place in 2004. Now the fields are getting smaller and the guns are shooting faster. That's why everybody's preparing himself thoroughly, because nobody wants to be an easy target. Now let's take a short look on the fields and their most important bunkers. The Drex's field has 2 small triangles on the spectator's side and a laydown X in the center. The JT field has 2 stand-up and 2 laydown pyramids in the middle of the field and a snake-like bunker at the right tape. The offside is dominated by small towers and 2 Doritos on the 50 yards line. The Millennium field is an extreme defensive field with big gaps between the bunkers. A zipper on the spectator side the offside is dominated by 5 Doritos. A giant snake on the spectator side, that's the tomahawk field. The left tape has 3 Doritos, another good example for blind shooting. The Kingman field has a spider arc at the central 50s. A snake on the spectator side. On the left side you'll find some half moons, as well as laydowns and stand-up cams. The Evil field is dominated by a huge tower in the middle, a great blind spot, and again a zipper on the spectator side. Laydown and stand-up pillows away from the grandstands. The organization of the Max European Masters offers its teams a big staging area, which means that every team has its own table. This place and the whole site is cleaned several times during the day. Here you meet the players, discussing what worked out or what didn't. Players are refilling their guns and pots, making sure that all hits disappear before the next game starts. A professional airfill station guarantees enough pressure for all air systems. And some have to fix their problems with their guns. The access is completely denied for spectators, making sure that nobody is stealing the expensive guns or equipment. For the first time this year, every field has its own independent judge. Steve Morris, head judge of the Millennium, is briefing all judging teams before the first day of the games. Their job is to check the velocity of guns and also to make sure that no marker has an irregular trigger. But in the first place, they check the players for hits and control that everything runs according to the rules. During the heat of the game, their job is also to cool down the situation if something gets out of control. But in the end, most of the problems are settled. In the game Dynasty against Millennium, the judges made a sudden marker check after the 10 seconds warning. They controlled every marker from each team for trigger bounce. Millennium had no irregular markers. But the half-field judge decided that one of Dynasty's guns had a wrapping trigger, which means that the game goes 100-0 to Millennium without one single shot being fired. Dynasty protested against that decision. Nevertheless, the judge made his final call. After hard and exhausting games, the teams check out the local catering. The little restaurant near the fields guarantees that no player is walking out with an empty stomach. All the more, the prices are very civilized. On Sunday nights, most of the teams are going to a local club near the major hotel in Bitburg, which is located 5 minutes off the fields. Now it's party time and everybody is celebrating. Time to chill out and time to watch for some fine ladies. This year, 4 beautiful bartenders were pumping up the crowd, and most of the people didn't go home sober.
To have a whole place like this to come to party with everybody. It's very nice, like seeing people that you play on the fields, and it's good to see them out of the field too, as there is a lot of friendship in paintball, so that's definitely a good thing to have some place like this to party.
That'll do. See you next Easter in Bitburg for the Max European Masters 2005.